Yo, what's happening everyone? Jinsula here with a brand new Pokemon GO video. And today we're going to be talking about an upcoming event happening in Pokemon GO. And it's going to be an Incense Day featuring the Pokemon Ferroseed. This event is looking to be pretty good, but in general, I feel like Incense Days are a very weak event, and I wanted to talk about why I believe that. But first, let's talk about the details for this event. It's going to be happening on Sunday, May 26th from 11 o'clock a.m. to 5 o'clock p.m. local time, and it's going to be an Incense Day featuring the Pokemon Ferroseed. You'll have an increased chance at encountering shiny Ferroseed during this event, and it's mainly going to be about using incense and walking around a whole bunch. Now, here are the event bonuses. Incense is more likely to attract Ferroseed, there's going to be an increased chance to encounter shiny Ferroseed, and the daily adventure incense is going to last twice as long when activated during the event. Now here is where I have an issue. First and foremost, regular incense are only going to last their regular duration. They're not going to be increasing the time that the incense is going to stay in place, but your daily adventure incense at least is going to be double in time, so it's going to last for about 30 minutes. Now, if you use Origin Form Dialga's Roar of Time, that means the daily adventure incense is going to last for 1 hour instead of 30 minutes. That's something you should consider doing if you have enough candies and Stardust, because then aside from the Ferroseeds, you're also going to be getting Galarian legendary birds, potentially. And of course, the spawn rate from the daily adventure incense is just slightly better than regular incense, so that's something else you should keep in mind. Now, aside from just Ferroseed, there's also going to be a bunch of other spawns depending on the time of day, from 11 o'clock a.m. to 12 o'clock p.m., and then from 1 o'clock p.m. to 2 o'clock p.m., and then from 3 o'clock to 4 o'clock p.m., you're going to see Hisuian Voltorb, Tangela, Hoppip, Petlil, Phantomp, and Morlo spawning from Incense. And then on the other hours, from 12 o'clock to 1 o'clock, and 2 o'clock to 3 o'clock, and then 4 o'clock to 5 o'clock p.m. local time, you're going to see Galarian Meowth, Magnemite, Aron, Beldum, Shieldon, and Togedemaru. And if you need an incense for this event, just know that there's going to be one in the Pokeshop for 1 Pokecoin during this event. And there's also going to be field research tasks that are going to be themed around this event. So if you want additional items while you're collecting all those Pokemon from your incense, then make sure you're spinning Pokestops and collecting those event field research. Alright, so what are my thoughts regarding this? Well, on the surface, I think it's a very solid event. It's going to be something for you to do when normally there's nothing going on that day. And you might potentially get yourself a bunch of shiny Ferroseed, which it is actually a very valuable Pokemon considering that its evolved form is really good in PvP, and getting a shiny is going to net you a lot of really good trades. The one issue that I have is that when it comes to this Incense Day, there's really nothing else going on that's exciting or enticing. So you're getting a whole bunch of shiny Ferroseed, that's great, but there's going to be no exclusive move. The shiny rate is definitely going to be boosted, but there's likely going to be less Ferroseed spawns throughout the day, and it's still going to involve a lot of luck. And from my experiences of past Incense Days, the boosted shiny rate is not even that much boosted. It's likely going to be a 1 in 64 rate, which is not going to be good considering that you're not going to be getting nothing but Ferroseeds. If it was the case where every single incense spawn is going to be Ferroseed, then yeah, I would say that having a perma boosted rate of 1 in 64 is going to be fine. But I don't think it's necessarily going to be that impactful considering that, well, it's probably going to be 1 out of every 5 spawns that'll actually be Ferroseed. And then those Ferroseed spawns are going to have a semi-boosted rate. So yeah, I think there's a couple of flaws, and yes, a lot of this is just based on my own experiences. It could be completely different this time around, but I think that out of all of the different events that they hold, like community days as well as with raid days, Incense Days tend to be the least favorite. So I really hope they do some interesting things to change things up this time around, but it doesn't look like they're doing that. And if I were to make some suggestions to make Incense Days more improved, I would say that, well, they should have every single incense that you use during the event hours only spawn these spotlighted Pokemon and have all of the other Pokemon that you could potentially get, namely the grass types and the steel types, have those be wild spawns. I think that would be a much better event, and it would definitely drive a lot of players to go out and play as opposed to just skipping this event, because chances are if you already have a bunch of shiny Ferroseeds, or even if you have just one, you're likely not going to bother with this event. I mean, there's really no point in you going all out for this event because you're not even going to get high IVs. It's not like a research day, it's not like a raid day, and the boosted shiny rate is likely going to be minimal. So, you know, it's just going to create a lot of disappointment. And in my suggestion, I'd say just go about it very casually. I think, if anything, the double duration for the daily adventure incense is pretty good. So that should be the only thing you focus on. Like, go out and pop your daily adventure incense, enjoy the 30 minutes of constant grinding, or if there's ever a reason for you to use Roar of Time, this will definitely be the event for you to do that. But it's like I said, incense days are not necessarily well designed, and I feel like there's a lot of potential hype that could have been had with this event, but because of how incense days have run in the past, I don't think that hype is going to be met. But who knows? Like I said earlier, I'm really hoping for some pleasant surprises. I think Niantic is fully capable of doing that. I just think they need to be less stingy. And if they are, then this could actually be a very solid event. And it could be something that players could look forward to every single month, or every single season, I suppose. Like, raid days have been pretty good, and community days have always been solid. And I'm always personally a fan of research days, and I also like the hatch days. But the incense days are the only ones where I'm like, yeah, whatever, it's not that great, but you know, I think Niantic could change that, and I really hope they do. I don't think it's going to happen this time around, but in future incense days, I really hope they implement some neat ideas. Now, one more thing that I want to say before ending this video, there is, of course, the steel hours that are actually very intriguing for the very reason that there's going to be Beldum spawns, which are very valuable, but also Alolan Meowth. And that Pokemon does give you bonus Stardust, so at least during those hours, you should pop a star piece because you might end up with some really good Stardust gains. But aside from that, yeah, this one is likely going to be very forgettable, and I really hope Niantic takes some positive lessons, and hopefully they get a lot of good constructive feedback, and that's really going to be up to us as a Pokemon Go community. Yeah, let's just all try to be constructive. I know I'm being very critical in this video, but again, I just want to see these sort of things improve, and I really want incense days to be something cool, but as of right now, it's not necessarily that. But yeah, in any case, that's going to be it for this video. Let me know your thoughts regarding this upcoming Incense Day down below. Are you looking forward to catching a whole bunch of shiny Ferroseed, or are you like me and just simply thinking about skipping this event? Definitely share why in the comments, and let's have a great discussion. And as always, thank you so much for making it to the end of the video. If you ended up enjoying it and found it to be insightful, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe if it's your first time here. And also don't forget that little bell so you can stay up to date on whenever I upload videos. Also, let me give a quick shout out to all my patrons on Patreon. You all make this channel content possible. If you want to support the Jinsula channel, the absolute best way to do so is to go and check out my Patreon. If you become a paid Patreon member, then you get a permanent spot on my in-game Pokemon Go friends list. So if you want to interact with me in some way within Pokemon Go, like with remote raids or the friendship system, then make sure you go and check out my Patreon. And if you want to support my channel in a different way, you can always do so by following me on social media. My handle is @Jinsula, and I'm on the platforms that you see on screen. Make sure you go over there and give me a follow. Alright, and that's going to be it for this video. I'm Jinsula. Be safe, have fun, love yourself, and I'll catch you all later. My god, I've been saying the same closing for all my videos for the past year. I should probably come up with something different, but yeah, who knows? Why fix what isn't broken?